Hi, this is Asha with birthofyourlife.com and ashastories.com. I've been meaning to do these videos for a while, but after last night, I got to tell you, I just had to put this out so that all of you could just benefit from what happened last night. So some of you know that I teach a class called Bringing Life into Balance, and it's really about balancing the feminine and the masculine aspects of who we are. We live in a world that is very much ruled by the mind, which is a more masculine energy. And what this class is really about is for us to awaken other parts of what we're about, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, and really as we begin to listen to these parts of what we are, we bring ourselves into balance, into a more harmonious and more real way of living. So last night, we were contemplating the sacred chalice principle. And the sacred chalice are these principles that I received 3 years ago. They're very feminine in nature. And you can look at them on ashastories.com, which is my blog. Last night, we were looking at the fourth principle, which is compare yourself to no other. Now, I don't know any woman who doesn't cringe or have a visceral reaction to this principle, but most women feel like, yeah, that's just really not something that I like, and I know I do it all the time. And so we were contemplating this principle and meditating on it, and what came up is that these principles are not static. They're very organic in nature, and it's almost like peeling the layers of an onion. And it sort of depends where in the layers you are in. And there's no hierarchy of where you are, but it's more of, it just is, like wherever it is that you are. So anyway, the first layer to uncover is this concept of competition and collaboration. We live in a world that is very competitive. The paradigm has really supported a way of doing business, politics, education. Everything is really set up in this way of competition. Now, what our Wall Street and politics and all these different areas and even business is showing us is that it's not really a sustainable model anymore. And what a lot of spiritual teachers and a lot of people are really feeling, people that are connected, are feeling that we're moving into an era of cooperation, sort of more of this Piscean energy. And so in this cooperation, we don't really know what that looks like. A lot of us have a sense of what that feels like, but not the specifics of what it looks like. And this principle of compare yourself to no other really supports this new way of being. What I will say that as we birth this new paradigm of being, I just invite us all, including myself, to just be gentle and understanding that as we gestate, as you would a baby, as we're trying to birth this new paradigm, to be gentle and to be understanding of where we are, and that situations are going to rise to help us to better understand what the new paradigm could feel and look like. So the next layer of the onion of this principle is the concept of oneness. So if we're not comparing ourselves to one another, then we can be invited into a place of being that is about you are one with me and I am one with you. And we can be unique and different, but there really is not a hierarchy of who's better and who's worse, or who's thinner and who's heavier or smarter or not. But it's really that we're one. We all make up the body of this universe in our own unique way. And so again, the next layer, a more intimate and deeper layer, is the layer of compassion. When I feel your pain, when I know exactly what you're going through, that transcends race, it transcends religion, it transcends sex, it transcends everything that is from the outside, and really brings us into communion and brings us into a deep understanding and a deep really looking at into each other's eyes and seeing who we really are. And this brings us beautifully into the next layer, which is namaste, which I can't take credit for because one of the participants in the class said it last night. And the energy of namaste is, I see the divinity within you and I see the divinity within me. So when we feel connected, when we have compassion at a very deep emotional and spiritual level, when we know we are one and we are invited into cooperation with one another, there is no other way to go but to see how sacred we to see how sacred we are, each of us. And this beautifully feeds it into that last delicious layer of this onion of the sacred chalice principle, which is abundance. When we know that we are enough, that there is enough, and that we each have complete and total access to the abundant and infinite and ever-changing nature of everything that we desire, we have no room for comparing ourselves to one another. So when we embody this principle of moving past the comparing ourselves to one another, we really move into the abundance model. We really move into what I called aligned wealth. And it is a world that is infinite, ever-changing, and we have access to that when we embody this. So I really wanted to share that with you because last night was so profound with everyone in class, and I wanted you to have access to that information. I also wanted to let you know, if you're interested in more of this work, please visit birthofyourlife.com and look under classes. I'm going to be posting some of the classes that are going to be coming up. If you're interested in staying in touch and you're on Facebook, please go to Asha Stories and you'll see that I post whatever's going on with Birth of Your Life.